In our last episode, you would have seen us hesitantly pack up and leave Swimcart Beach after spending a good week here over the Easter break.
We watched our final sunrise here, then hit the road. We had our eyes set for Launceston and off we went.
En route, we stopped in at this random cafe for a coffee and homemade donuts. It was $6. Bargain.
After 2 hours of highway driving, we made it to Launceston and headed straight to Old Mac's farm to set up camp. We said hello to the baby cows, then went and chose a spot. Update on the gearbox. So we got a Wreckers that have got a second-hand one for a really cheap price. Apparently there's a lot of Navaras being wrecked in Tasmania, which is very bizarre and weird. And they're also the cheapest in Australia. So I guess the stars are aligned and whatever. And they managed to fit us in today, which is the next day after calling. And I'm just going to get the Wreckers to do all the work. I mean, I could do the work myself, but you know, I've just put it in third. As I was saying, till I was interrupted by third gear. Yeah, I could have done it myself, but in the end, they're going to do it easier. So I didn't want to mess around too much. When you're talking swapping gearboxes, if you don't have the right gear, it can be pretty dangerous. So yeah, that's why we decided to just get them to do it. That way it's done and we can continue on.
Yeah, so obviously the plan was to do it in Melbourne, but as Kurt was saying, stars have aligned. Yeah, I think we're lucky it's towards the end of our Tassie trip, to be honest, as well. So that's good. So we're going to, yeah, like you said, go drop it at the Wreckers. We're not going to try to waste a day. We're just going to go into Launceston, do a bit of sightseeing. So go see the sights. Well, hopefully get fixed today and yeah.
Oh, another thing is the reason it happened is general wear and tear, so it's nothing really to do with how I drive the vehicle. Like, I do tow in fifth, but I don't tow in fifth under load, which means if I'm cruising along in the highway, I'll chuck it in fifth just to cruise me along. So, I mean, for third gear to go is very bizarre. That's why it's pretty much wear and tear. So there's nothing really we could have done about it. It was going to happen at some point.
Alright, cool. Yeah, we'll make our way to the Wreckers and we'll keep you guys posted. So we dropped the Navara off to the Wreckers bright and early before catching a cab into Cataract Gorge.
Cataract Gorge was a cool little place. Within a few minutes we spotted these friendly kangaroos hanging around. Plus, near the cafe, spotted this peacock.
Kurt grabbed a coffee and we wandered around exploring the gorge.
After an hour of walking around, we followed the river down into Launceston town. Walking around for a good few hours, checking out the local shops and old buildings. Alright, it's day 2. The car has been fixed apparently, so we're just going to go catch a cab and pick it up now. And no other dramas, which is good. So yeah, we'll see how it feels, see how she goes, and we keep the progress going on. Happy days.
We jumped out of the cab, eager to see our baby, aka our Nav. We followed Luke into the workshop where he showed us our old gearbox.
We still don't know exactly why it's stuck in third gear. However, he also showed me that the clutch bearing had failed, even though it was only 20,000 kilometers old. Very strange problem, so glad that the gearbox had to be swapped. The nav was also missing a bump stop on one of the steering arms, so they gladly put one on for me free of charge. How good is that?
After fixing up the bill, we grabbed the keys and ducked off. We returned to camp where we would say a farewell to Kurt's sister and her family as we were heading our separate ways.
Now we knew that we had a 30-day warranty with our newly installed gearbox, but we would only be in Tassie for 3 more days, so we wanted to put it straight to the test to see if there was any issues. We headed 45 minutes out of Launceston to Ben Lomond, a popular ski mountain in the winter.
It has a section up the mountain which is full of hairpin bends, known as Jacob's Ladder.
Once up top, there is a great vantage point and a lookout called the Watchtower.
Satisfied with our little trip, we headed back, passing these cows in which Rusty had a few words with.
Let's go.
After saying her little bit, we headed back to Old Mac's farm to relax for the rest of the afternoon. Ames wandered the ground with Rusty, checking out all the farm animals.
There was a handful of sheep, some alpacas and plenty of Shetland ponies. We even spotted this little guy, only a few weeks old, with his mama.
So it was officially sail out day. We were up nice and early and packed up ready to go.
So we made our way to the Devonport ferry terminal with a quick stop into McDonald's for breakfast.
Check-in started at 7 AM and we were there at 6:45 AM. As you can see, there were quite a few vehicles ahead of us already.
Hey guys, so we are just boarding to head back to Melbourne. The ship is just over there. I think we chose a good time to go. I think it's predicted to be rain all week, so yeah, good time to get away. But we can't wait to get away from this bloody cold.
And the wind.
And the wind. Yeah. Little Rusty's all ready as well, ready for our second trip back. Rust! Oh, chicken. Alright, we'll keep you guys posted.
We slowly crawled our way to the ticket booth and then through the quarantine and security checkpoint before being guided into our waiting lane.
So we're just in line to board back to Melbourne, Spirit of Tasmania. Spent 8 weeks here and can't wait to get away from this bloody cold.
Yeah, she's a bit cold.
Yeah, so passed through quarantine. We're just sitting in line waiting to board our deck. And yeah.
We got told to open the curtains in the caravan, which was a little bizarre, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Didn't have that on the way here. Well, I'm okay. But yeah, I think little Rusty knows. She's sooking in her bed. So hopefully she'll be fine again. Fingers crossed on that journey back. But yeah. Alright, we'll see you guys in Melbourne.
Bye! After frustratingly waiting in line for over an hour and watching every other caravan load, it was finally our time. We were a little annoyed as we got in there real early, yet we were one of the last to be ushered on.
Due to our delayed boarding, we were put on deck 3, even though we were assured we'd be on deck 5 as our preference with little Rusty. I'd heard some bad things about deck 3 kennels, like poor lighting and ventilation, plus it felt really dark and gloomy near the kennels area. I told the deck coordinator I wasn't happy leaving Rusty on this deck and that I wanted her to be on deck 5, as she had a good sail over on deck 5.
The coordinator agreed to our request and allowed us up to deck 5 with Rusty. As you can see, Ames approaching the kennels, there's a lot more natural light here and a higher deck area, which means more ventilation. We reluctantly settled our princess in with her comfy bed before returning back to deck 3 and grabbed the rest of our things and heading up to the recliner lounge.
Once again, the 8-hour sail seemed to go relatively quickly and we rushed down with the masses to collect little Rusty.
Hey, chicken. Hey, good girl.
She was very happy to see us, and we breathed a sign of relief that those 2 sails are now over. You can tell by her waggy tail she was happy to head back to the car. We made it!
Yay! Back in Melbourne. Woo! Rusty's all good again.
Check!
Jack. So we're just going to make our way off this ship, go straight to a van park we've pre-booked, probably grab a pizza and chill. Woo! What a day. See you, legends.
One positive with being on deck 3 is you are the first level to get unloaded from the ship, so we didn't have long to wait until we touched down on the Australian mainland once again.
grabbed a pizza en route to the van park, we cracked a beer and relaxed. We finally made it back to Melbourne in one piece. What a crazy 8-week adventure we had had.
Be sure to join us next time as we track towards the magnificent Grampians.
If you haven't already, then hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. Cheers, legends.